Aloha, beautiful souls. This is Ryan of tranSOULution, and welcome to my channel, Transform with Ryan, where I am bringing in that light whenever there are shadows. Now, in this pick a card tarot reading, we are going to be looking at how an ex is feeling about you right now. And the intention that I set forth for this reading is to really facilitate heart healing for you and this ex of yours that maybe whose energy is coming through for this reading, and it's for the highest and greatest good of you and this other person. And so as you look at each of these three piles, they have messages and phrases from kind of what's going on with their energy, how they look back on the time that you spent together, and kind of from the perspective of where they are now. Hopefully, as someone who maybe has a little bit more awareness, a little bit less doubt and fear and insecurities, right? And so, again, the energy here is meant to be very heart healing for you and for them, because people that we form a connection with, whether it's romantic or not, we have this energetic cord that connects us to them. And sometimes those cords can drain some energy or have some sort of subconscious negative impact on our life. And so we're going to heal that connection today by looking at how an ex is feeling about you right now. We're going to channel, the things that they wanted to say, the things that are true from their heart, and perhaps they just didn't know the words for. So take a look again and see which one of these piles of cards that I made. I'm really excited to see how this reading turns out and see which one is calling to. And you'll see in the timestamp or in the description box below the timestamps to go to the corresponding reading. So I will see you there. Hey there, group number one. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. For those of you that are new to this channel, I'm sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. I'm so excited for the energies that we're pulling through today for heart healing regarding how an ex is feeling about you right now. So thank you so much for joining me today. Let's see what messages we have coming through with these cards. So the first card that came out is I Need Space. And we're going to take a look at these cards, this messages here with Oracle cards and Tarot cards as well, okay? So the first thing that came out is I Need Space. And then next we have I feel like I know you from a previous life. Things are moving so fast. Okay, this is interesting because after I read the first two cards, I had this sense of overwhelm, and now it's becoming very, very clear that that was a bit of the energy here. I'll always love you. Oh, that's beautiful. And it wasn't the right time. Wow. Okay, so I think the message here is very, very clear that this person really did care about you, and this connection was so powerful for them. Like, it really got them shook, is what I'm thinking. It really shook them to the core. And honestly, they were afraid. It really scared them, these intense feelings. For some people, what I'm sensing is that this, all these intense emotions reminded them of another intense relationship that they had in the past that likely led to some hurt feelings. So and what I'm sensing is it wasn't necessarily romantic. Like, it could have been a friendship where they felt like, whoa, this is like my ride or die buddy. Like, we are so in sync, we're on the same page, on the same wavelength, and then perhaps the friendship ended somehow and they were kind of left behind. For some, now this is really interesting because what I'm getting is with this friendship, a friend had passed away unexpectedly, moved away, And in just a small case, it was like a betrayal of the friendship and the trust between them. But what I'm sensing is majority of the cases it was out of their control. And so because they felt so connected with you, it was like not only did they have these romantic feelings for you, but they really felt like you could be a best friend to them and a lover. And it just reminded them of this connection, and it triggered them, and they got afraid because it was that sensation of this is so good and I'm afraid to lose it. And so it's kind of like they sabotage themselves by making it difficult to be in a relationship with them, or just outright ending the relationship, because it's like, hey, if I end this now, in the future I'm going to be able to avoid some heartache and pain when it inevitably comes to an end. That's what they were thinking, that's what they were feeling. But really deep down inside, like, they love you, they care about you. And it's really this subconscious ego driven fear of losing you that unfortunately, caused them to take the action that they did and create the situation. And now, they're your ex. So it wasn't the right time because they didn't have the opportunity to heal these past traumas and wounds. And they felt like they knew you from a previous life. So what I'm getting is it was something from childhood, more so, maybe even teenage years, okay? But it was like when they were young, under the age of 18, the vibrations and the energies and the feelings in which you were invoking in them were from their youth. Now, definitely for other people, especially if they're maybe more spiritually aware, spiritually open, they've definitely felt a connection with you from a previous life, okay? And so they definitely felt they needed some space from this relationship because it was moving too fast. It was bringing up these feelings from them, and they just weren't equipped, would probably be a good word, at the time to really deal with all these strong emotions, all right? So let's take a look here with this. Oh, wow. Okay, there's one. Let's take a, oh, and there's another one. It's like, I can't even get what I'm going to say out. So let's take a look here with these oracle cards and see what other feelings and emotions and messages that's going on in their head right now that they kind of have an opportunity to reflect back on your relationship, okay? So now it seems like they just have this awareness, right? That they were being triggered, that they, okay, one more card. That they were just wasn't really sure how to process such strong emotions and feelings that they were having for you. It really had them scared, okay? They were just so nervous about what it was that they were feeling. They didn't know how to process it or deal with it. And they kind of shut down would be one way to look at it. Okay, so let's maybe make some space here. So we'll just kind of put the cards like this. And we have union, reconciliation, eternal love, your time has come, abandoned, lonely, lost, the divine is with you. What I'm getting here is they definitely have some thoughts or designs of like, hey, what if we got back together now that I know more, now that I'm more opened and I feel like these past wounds have healed and been released. We also have cycles, momentum, force, life cycles, stay grounded in the now. So what feels like is coming through is they feel like they're in a much better place right now, a much better place for the deep connection that they were feeling with you. And there's a part of them right now that's thinking back on the relationship that you had, and there's this sort of like, darn it, like, if only I knew then what I knew now, we would be together and we would kind of have this happily ever after. And then there's this other part of them that knows that this is how everything was meant to be. This is the grand design, and this is sort of a chapter, a cycle of life that they had to go through. And they're wondering if you're still single, if you're still available, if, there's a chance that you can actually reconcile. And what I'm getting is for many of you, this ex, like, you really don't have connection with them right now. Like, they moved away, the phone numbers changed, like, there's what I'm getting is there's no easy way for them to contact or connect with you. It's like they don't even know where to start. Um, and it's almost like they're kind of hoping that they manifest a chance to speak with you again and see where you're at, share a little bit where they're at, again, see if there's a chance. Um, and what I'm picking up for some of you is that you are in a relationship that you feel really good about right now. Um, but there's a part of you that's open to connecting with them again, perhaps for like some healing, right? Like be in their presence, have a chance to really talk it out and say the things you never had a chance to say back then when you were younger, a little bit more naive. And same with them. Ascend, expansion, evolution, universal intelligence, stay connected to spirit. So yes, right now they definitely have a higher level of awareness of their emotional state, their emotional patterns. I'm sensing that many of them had actually gone to therapy. Maybe honestly not for this, but it's like your relationship and how everything played out was the catalyst for them to like, oh my gosh, there's something deep within me that's hurting, that is experiencing pain, and I would like to heal it. I'd like to investigate and get to know more about it so that this doesn't become a cycle. This doesn't repeat over and over in my life, and that I will be able to handle such a deep, meaningful connection again in the future. Fifth dimension, intuitive communication, you are connected at the soul level. Wow. So they are definitely trying to manifest you here. They are like when they're in dream state, or if there's someone who now enjoys meditation and connecting with higher self, they are really reaching out to your higher self and trying to connect with you on the astral plane, in the dream dimension, in non-physical reality, so they can see if you're open to meeting up with them, connecting with them again, having this opportunity to speak about the past and heal the past. And what I'm sensing is they kind of want to explain themselves. They feel this kind of open energy here, and they want some closure, some resolution. And they also feel like they owe it to you because back then, again, they weren't very well equipped to communicate what they were really feeling and their fears. They were afraid to express their fears, right, towards you. And now they're ready for it, and they feel, whether they're aware of this or not, they feel that the connection that you shared in the past and the way things ended is kind of creating this weight in your energetic body, as well as like an unresolved issue. And at the very least, if you cannot come together now in this time and space, they want to, allow healing to come in and clear the bond and connection so that they can find love and you can find love that's more of a match to where you both are at right now. Wow, this is really beautiful. Let's get some tarot cards here to get some more information right now on how they're feeling about things beyond just what we've already covered here, all right? A little bit about what you need to know here for your healing, because you're the one that's viewing this reading. So we've got some messages from them, and let's see what spirit would like to share with you about this. So Page of Cups. Okay, like right off the bat, Page of Cups is telling me again, this relationship was at a time where both of you actually were emotionally less mature than you are now. And so there was just a little bit of a lack of awareness. What I'm sensing is definitely you were very hurt by this, and it was almost as if like back at that time, you're just like, why can't you just get it? Why can't you just be open? Why can't you just share what you're feeling? Why are you pushing me away? Like, don't you see this is such a good thing we have together, right? And there was this sort of energy of attachment to this notion of like, hey, we should be living happily ever after. Like, what is wrong with you? Why aren't you on this game plan? It's like, all the signs I'm getting from you is like, yes, you're in it to win it, but then you're like sabotaging this relationship. Like, what is up with that? So there's just this emotional immaturity at the time, perhaps a little bit more on their end than yours. That was part of the reason why this didn't, continue and why it ended. So 7 of Cups. Yes, there was. So at the time, there was this disconnect with your dreams and their dreams, right? And it wasn't just blending into this unified reality of the love connection you both had. All right. We have the King of Swords. So definitely at the time, it was sort of the mind was ruling the situation versus the heart. Okay. I'm getting the sense this person was really all up in their head, all up in their thoughts, versus all up in their feelings. Maybe you were more into your feelings and they were more into their head. And so that's part of the disconnect. All right. Like they were afraid to kind of be in their emotions because their emotions had been hurt before. And so they were more in their head and trying to rationalize and strategize love, right? And love really isn't about strategy for most people. It's more about the connection, the intimacy, the feelings, right? It's not about like back in the day when people would have these relationships to create greater wealth by merging of families that have similar standings. Okay, so in any case, they were definitely a lot in their head at the time. Next, we have Lovers. So Spirit is saying, yes, this was a very powerful connection. This was a very influential connection that you had in your life. And if you both choose, there can be a reconciliation here. There can be a possibility for another chance at love. And definitely you both would be in a better position to be in relationship together now after going through what you both went through, not with just the breakup, but since the separation, since the breakup. They've learned a lot about themselves. You've learned a lot about yourself. And now you can come together and really be open and honest with each other about what you desire in a relationship and be able to communicate that way better than you would have in the past. And we have the 7 of Coins here. So a lot of reflection on the past, especially on their part, perhaps yours as well. That could be why you were drawn to this reading, is you're looking at your past experiences in love. They're looking at their past experiences in love and learning from it. Learning like, okay, now if this situation were to present itself in my life again, how would I handle it differently? So that, I'm being true to myself. I'm being honest about my feelings. I'm giving that respect to the other person by sharing with them how I honestly, truly feel about it. So there's a lot of that energy here, and it's very, I would say it's very good for both of you to have this reflective period in your life and this sort of self-awareness and insight as to your feelings and your behavior when it comes to love. Wow. So I hope this reading was healing and brought some awareness and peace to your previous connection here. And who knows if you are going to have the opportunity to connect again. I think it would really be a great opportunity at the very least to clear the air, if not really connect with this person and sort of not pick up where you left off, but take your relationship to this higher frequency, this higher and more mature level than what it was in the past. So if you enjoyed this reading, it resonated with you, and you got something out of it, my loves, I invite you to like and comment down below, and of course subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future readings. And if you'd like another one, I did put a link right up here in the top right corner, so you can click on that if you'd like to go to another reading. But otherwise, I'm sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. I'm so grateful that we were able to heal a little bit of your heart and your connections with this reading. Take care, loves. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. I'm actually really excited to be doing this reading. I've been thinking about it quite a bit and feeling into it quite a bit over the past few days. And I'm so excited to really have this opportunity to heal some of this energetic cords that you have with an ex from your past that, perhaps left a little bit of pain, a little bit of trauma, a little bit of heartbreak in your energies and their energies. So I'm so excited to do this reading. Thank you for allowing me to channel these messages for you from their higher self, from their best intentions. And for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a warm welcome and aloha. Do let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments down below. So let's take a look at the comments here on your cards, okay? So what is it that you want? It's purely physical. Interesting, interesting. I feel so bad about that. There's something I didn't tell you. Wow. This is going nowhere. Oh, wow, 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 my loves. So, for those of you that were drawn to this sort of collection of cards here, really the energy that I'm getting is at the time this person really was not connecting with you emotionally. They were connecting with you physically, and they thought, or rather they wanted it to be the case, that you were feeling the same way, that it wasn't really about your feelings and about you having sort of a love attachment to each other, and it was just meant to be fun, casual, very lighthearted. And you know what I'm sensing is, towards the end of your time together, they started getting the sense that it was like, okay, you definitely want something more, but maybe you weren't as confident or assertive in expressing that. But they were so, it was like their physical attraction to you ruled over their conscience, right? Because I would like to think that perhaps if they were capable at the time of doing what was right for the both of you, they would have expressed what they were thinking and feeling and ended it, right? The moment that they felt that perhaps they were using you in a sense of like, hey, really what I want right now is a physical connection. I don't want anything more. And that could be how you both met and connected. But over time, you started to develop feelings and they just weren't there yet. But they noticed it. And instead of just telling you, like, hey, let's talk about this because I'm getting the sense that you're starting to maybe feel something more for me. And I just want to let you know that's not how I feel about us. Like they just maybe didn't feel brave enough or mature enough to let the physical connection you have go for the sake of preventing any pain to your emotional body, to your energetic body. And that's what I'm getting here from there's something I didn't tell you and this is going nowhere. So they didn't see anything really long term with you at the time. And they feel really bad about it. They feel really bad that in a way they kind of led you on. And perhaps they even said things or did things to confuse you from your perspective of like, wait, do they want something more or do they not? Like, why would they do this if they didn't see a potential for something more than just a physical connection with me, right? But how they were truly feeling is like, hey, it's just physical. That's how I'm feeling about this. I don't feel that way about you. And more so, they just weren't in a position, like they didn't want a romantic connection. They didn't want to be dating anybody at the time. And what they really wanted from you is like they want to know what you want. They wanted you to be the one to kind of end it versus them. So in a way, there's a part of them that kind of chickened out in being the one to be like, hey, I don't want this, right? Like I'm sensing that you're catching feelings and that's not, I don't want to lead you on, right? Like that's a really hard thing to say for a lot of people, especially when they're getting something that they want out of it, right? But the other person isn't getting everything they want out of it. And now they're in this place where they're more mature, they had more experiences perhaps to see how sometimes their actions and the poor, when communication is poor between them and other people, how people can get hurt in the process, whether it's them getting hurt or you getting hurt, or you as in the other person. Okay, so what I'm getting from spirit is they were put in the same position that they put you in. So there's sort of this karma, if you will. I know I wouldn't say this is the most accurate use of the word karma, but they got to experience how it felt when you want something more, but the other person doesn't. So now they're reflecting on it and like, oh my gosh, I did that to you. Like they were remembering you and your relationship and they're, oh, I did the same thing to somebody and this is what it feels like. So now they have this greater awareness and this understanding of how their actions really impact other people, especially, when it comes to love. So let's see what we got here as well, some other messages from them and some other notions about how they're feeling right now, about the connection that you shared before, especially now that they're older, they're wiser. Okay. Oh my gosh, that almost caught on the candle. Yeeps. Okay, let's firstly, let's kind of organize the space here. We'll just put the cards like this. And okay, so we got offer, gesture, engagement, wedding, rejoice in your union. That is very, very interesting. So this is really okay. So what I'm sensing for some of you is that this person is about to get married or engaged, or you're about to get married or engaged even, right? Like with your current partners. And on some level, they intuitively know that there's some energies surrounding love that need to be resolved, that need to be healed, that need to be cleared to give the best opportunities for their current relationship, right? It's kind of like, I really don't want to screw this thing up because I'm so attached with this person and I'm so in love with this person. Like, love gods, please clear my karma, my past mistakes so that, we have a good, bright future ahead of us with, their current partner or your current partner. So could go either way. Spring, your love is blooming. Your answers arrive in spring. Oh, really, really interesting. So depending on the time you're catching this reading, spring will have a lot of significance for you. As far as expansion, I'm getting the sense. Expanding your love, amplifying your awareness too, your insight, your knowing. Pause, inaction, calmness, step back, wait for the sign. So yes, this is sort of what I'm sensing from their energy is there's a big moment coming up for them. Again, it could be this engagement, could be this wedding, and it's really causing them to reflect on their love history, their history with romance and relationships, and look at maybe past mistakes and how they could be the best version of themselves for their current partner and their current relationship. Ascend, there you go, expansion, evolution, universal intelligence, stay connected to spirit. And so now they have this awareness, right? They have some remorse, they have some regret, and they're really trying to clear that energy in the interest of their personal evolution and their expansion into this new chapter in their life. And here we have compromise, mutual understanding, flexibility, give and take brings rewards. So this is a lesson that they're starting to understand, right? Particularly mutual understanding. So they know the importance of needing to be on the same page with someone they're in a romantic relationship with, like having the same goals, having the same aspirations for the future of the relationship. And more often than not, what they're feeling is that you're always not going to be on the same page, and so there's going to take some compromise, some flexibility, some give and take. And in a relationship, if it's going to last long term. But the main thing is this understanding, knowing where each person is at in the relationship and how they're feeling, okay, and respecting that and honoring that. And it's not about like my wants, my needs. Like that's how they were before. It's like, I don't care what the other person feels like. This is what I want. This is what I need. I'm going to milk it for all it's worth and keep taking until there's nothing left to take. Oh, wow. Yeah, that felt very, very sort of true to heart of who they were in the past, that they were just that person that was like okay with taking, okay with receiving, and not giving back. It's like, hey, as long as I get what I want, like who cares about the other person? Or if the other person didn't want this, then they should say something. Like, why do I have to be the one that says something for them? We're all adults, we're all individuals. Like, this is kind of what they're thinking. We're all adults here, we're all individuals. Like, if you really don't like it, then you need to say you don't like it, right? They didn't feel like it was their responsibility to bring it up because they were happy and they got what they were wanting at the time. So let's pull some tarot cards as well, like really honing in more so on your higher self, and maybe some of the learning points here from this connection, as well as their higher self. And we have Temperance. Wow. So what the lesson here is in terms of indulgence, like not overindulging yourself at the expense of other people, at the expense of, in a way, greed, right? They were greedy for physical connection. They were greedy for, I don't, how do you say this? Like your time and your body, and like they were seeing now that they were taking more than they were giving, right? It wasn't definitely the energetic exchange between the two of you was not equal, because they were just giving the physical part of themselves and you were giving the physical and the emotional part of yourself, all right? And so Temperance is about that balance and energetic flow between the two of you. Nine of Swords, okay, so there's definitely some anxiety around that, and what I'm sensing is this anxiety of confrontation, of confronting your demons, right? Confronting the shadow aspect of yourself, like. So now they knew, like, oh, hey, I was being like hella greedy. And they're like, geez, that's not a good characteristic trait to have, right? That's something that's definitely not a virtue. And to kind of own your actions, especially the actions that are not, that don't put you in a very good light, that's kind of tough. And so there's this ownership, right? And perhaps there's this level of ownership for you too, to speak your heart and speak your mind. Maybe you were afraid of what they were going to say. If you opened your heart to them and said you were, starting to feel things for them, maybe you were afraid of ruining the connection. And maybe you're like, oh, like if I say this now, like it's going to ruin everything. Like maybe I should wait until they say something, or maybe I should wait for the right time to bring this up, right? So there's a little bit of nerves about expressing, who you truly are in the moment, right? And being honest and forthcoming. So for both of you. Next, we have the Devil. Yes, definitely like being a slave to your carnal desires, um, your physical needs, okay? Next, we have the Hierophant. Wow, we have one, two, three major arcana cards already. So this is like a major connection. It doesn't matter how long you spent with this person or how long ago it was. This definitely had a big impact on your heart and how you approach romantic connections since this relationship ended. Okay, I'm feeling a lot of pain, feeling a lot of sadness around how everything transpired between the two of you, and I'm really sensing that your self-esteem took a real big hit from this relationship. And now it's time to heal that, okay? So Spirit is saying here with the Hierophant card that there's healing to be had here about your self-worth, your values, and connecting with people. So what I'm sensing here for you on your end, since this relationship, it's been really hard for you to connect emotionally with people because you're so afraid of being used and being taken advantage of like you were in this relationship. And Spirit is saying, hey, now is a beautiful time to heal and really understand your self-worth and your values. And at the time that I'm recording this reading for all of you, there was recently a solar eclipse. And that's about cleansing energies and having this new beginning. And so letting go of the past and taking a step forward into this brighter future for you, all right? This new, more authentic way of connecting when it comes to matters of the heart, and people really matching you for your vibration, right? If you start to value yourself and your time and what you give to others, then you're going to attract those people that also see your true worth and value and will demonstrate that and show you just how much they value you, all right? So totally different from the way this relationship was with this ex. And we have the Six of Swords, beautiful. So new mindsets, new way of thinking that is better, that is lighter, that's easier, that's more in line with the highest version of you and your values now, and honoring who you are and what you bring to a relationship, and kind of connecting with a sort of dating pool, if you will, this part of the sea. They say there's a lot of fish in the sea, so you're connecting with this specific group of people now that will be a better match romantically for you than before, because I feel like this energy of this person, maybe you were experiencing a lot of connections that were reminiscent of this person, and it's because that energy hasn't healed. So, when I've worked with people before, I like to share with them that, hey, if you're noticing a repeating pattern in your life, a repeating circumstance, like not having enough money, not having the right kinds of friends or romantic partners, then it's because there's a part of you that needs to heal. This belief that you have of yourself and this energy from a past connection or a past situation that you subconsciously came to adopt as your belief system. Like, I believe this is the type of person now that I can attract. I believe this is the level of wealth I'm able to have in my bank account and in my life because of whatever happened to you in the past. And now it's about breaking those restrictions, breaking those limitations, and having a new mindset, having a new attitude towards yourself. Wow. So my loves, this felt very healing. It felt very good. I definitely felt a lot of a release happening. I hope that was the case for you as well. So if you enjoyed, this resonated with you in any way, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future readings. And I put a link right up here for those of you that would like another reading today. And otherwise, I'm sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs to a new beginning in love where you attract wonderful and beautiful love matches to you. Until next time, my dears. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And today I'm really excited to be channeling these messages on how an ex is feeling about you right now. This was something over the past few days that I've been really thinking about, reflecting on, feeling into, as far as offering a reading that will help my viewers and my subscribers heal parts of their heart and their past so that they can really start to manifest and attract and draw in the things that they truly want to see in their physical reality, especially when it comes to love, because love is such a big part of all of our lives. And for those of you that are new to this channel, oh my gosh, so excited to have you here. Sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. Do let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments down below. So let's see what messages this your ex has for you right now. Like really true, authentic messages from their soul that, again, they may not have been comfortable saying out loud, or maybe they don't have a means to communicate this with you in the here and now. So, why did I do that? I can't stop thinking about you. I don't deserve this. I don't know yet. And how can I make this better? Wow. So, what I am getting from this particular X, this energy here from them, is they really. It's almost like they didn't have control of their actions. Like they were very instinctual, they were very reactive. They did things before they really thought about it, right? They acted before they thought. And a lot of times their actions were rather destructive, okay? In the sense that they hurt other people's feelings. I'm sensing here that they may have even had a bit of a temper, okay? And what I'm getting from this too is there was a lot of times where they had to apologize, right? Because again, they were just so easily triggered, perhaps, maybe volatile personality. And they would have to spend a lot of time making things up to other people to make things better again, to sort of smooth things over, because their mouth was just too fast, and they carried a lot of anger within themselves. And there's some regret about a lot of their past actions here. And unfortunately, what I'm also seeing for them is the journey on this spiritual growth is like not done yet. There's still some missing links, some holes for them. There's still some work that needs to be done, but they're doing better, okay? And you've been on their mind a lot, because what I'm sensing from them is, out of all the people maybe they've interacted with, whether that's friends, family, or other lovers, they realize that you took the brunt of it. Like you really took a lot. And this is a phrase that they heard you say that has been, oh, wow. What I'm getting from Spirit is like this phrase has been haunting them a lot. When you shared with them, I don't deserve this. And what I'm getting for those of you that were drawn to this connection is you were the one that left them because you got fed up. You were tired of this. You were tired of the way they were talking to you, the way they were treating you. And it was like in your head, you're like, oh my God, you're just never going to learn, right? Like you keep doing the same things and you keep saying you're going to change, saying it's going to get better. And it's like, why is it only after you hurt somebody that you feel bad about it? Like, how about you just stop hurting people to begin with? Why don't we try that for a change, right? Like, that's kind of how you could have been viewing this situation before. And then finally, you're just like, no, I've had enough. I don't deserve this. I deserve better. And you really hurt me, and I don't want to hurt anymore. I want someone who's going to respect me and honor me and treat me right. Oh, wow. I feel a lot of like my heart is like clenching here more for you, because I'm feeling like, when things were good with this person, they were real good, But then when things were bad, it's like, oh, they were really, like, they really sucked. Um, and it was just like this really polar energies here again, where it's just like it's like a roller coaster ride. It felt very wild and chaotic, and maybe for a while like it was very interesting to you, right? There was like a thrill with this relationship, and the passions were really really high. And then, at some point it was like, geez, this is like turning into a rerun. Like, I've seen this program before, I've seen this show, I'm tired of it, I'm bored of it now. Like, I want to watch something else, I want to have a new experience, I want something different, right? And that's perhaps when you chose to left to leave. Oh my gosh, yeah, I can speak English, guys, I promise. Okay, wow. So, good for you for standing up for yourself and leaving this relationship where this other person wasn't really growing, and had a lot to work on regarding themselves. And they recognize that now. It's just that they have kind of a long way to go, right? And they're really like trying to understand their behavior patterns, trying to understand like why they did the things that they did, right? And they're seeing now this destructive pattern that they have. So let's pull in some more information about what they'd like to share with you from their highest self, okay? Wow. All right. So let me just do a quick shuffle for you all. And we have pause, inaction, calmness, step back, wait for the sign. So they're really, what I'm sensing right now for a lot of them, they're realizing like, hey, I shouldn't be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. I need to figure my mess out. I need to address my, traumas, my pain, my hurt. Like, why am I so easily angered or so angry or defensive all the time? So they're really finding this, that they need to do some self-work. And for some of them, the journey has started. And you are a big part of what they've been reflecting on. Masculine, your divine masculine, your twin or soulmate seeking you. So what I'm getting from this is the notion of, for one, twin flames. And for number two, the distortion of the divine masculine energy. So let me explain that for you all. With the twin flame notion, a lot of people, they romanticize the connection with a twin flame. It perhaps stems from the idea of like, oh, I'm meeting the person that completes me, right? That there's this idea of you that you're not complete without having this twin flame or this soulmate, whatever term you use, to complete you and make you feel whole again. And I'm not sure how you feel about this, but for me, I believe that everybody is complete and whole already, that there's nothing missing from you. You're a divine, multidimensional being, and you have everything you need within you. These love connections are just meant to enhance your experience here on earth, give you greater awareness of who you are and what your needs are, right? To help bring about happiness, joy, and peace and bliss into your life. It's not about like, oh, hey, you can't survive without this other person, because you can. Okay, it may feel like you can't because of the emotions being so strong, but honestly, like, you have a heart, you have lungs, you have a brain. Like, no one else is breathing for you. No one else is giving you the blood that contains oxygen for life. No one else is, the brain that's helping you think and figure things out. Like, you can do all of these things on your own. You don't need somebody else to do those things for you. You may want someone to help you and assist you and connect with. You may want that, yes, but you don't need it, okay? And so that's one aspect of it. And so with this person, the twin flame is meant to show you things about yourself, help you evolve and grow by bringing challenges into your life. That is what a twin flame does, okay? Again, because they tend to have a lot of traits that feel very opposite to you, right? And so with opposites, sometimes there can be opportunities for conflict and butting of heads, but really it's a vehicle, an opportunity for you and them to learn more about yourselves and learn more about how other people think and have compassion and patience for people who you don't see eye to eye with, right? It's not necessarily saying you have to agree with everything that they do or adopt their beliefs. It's more like, hey, everyone here has different opinions. How can we coexist? All right. So that's one aspect of this card. The other thing is the divine masculine, which is more about the distortion of the divine masculine, where the divine masculine can be prone to jealousy, anger, abuse, and rather than taking on that role of protector and provider, they become a source of destruction, right? And so it could be that this person really is needing time to heal that divine masculine aspect within them. All right. I think that's for a lot of people, to be quite honest, that a lot of us, as we nurture the divine feminine and give her the spotlight, there's this divine masculine that's very wounded, that needs healing and that needs balancing, because it's just been so distorted in the notions of war and aggression, right? Next, we have solitude. Okay, so solitude and pause. Definitely this person needs a timeout, needs a retreat, because they're starting to become aware of their relationship patterns and this like, wow, okay. It's that point, what I'm sensing, it's that point where it's like, hey, I keep coming across the same thing. So it's same type of person, same type of situation. So clearly it's not everybody else that's the problem. It's me that's the problem. Okay, they're getting that awareness now. Next, we have loss of self and identity. Discover your true self again. There you go. So they really lost connection with themselves. And they're like, my God, who am I? What am I really trying to be in this world? Who am I trying to be in this world? Like, what is going on with me? Why am I feeling, why am I behaving this way and creating problems in my life? So they are going through this huge shift and transformation, which is good for them. I'm happy that they're doing that. Oh my gosh, here we go. Balance. How appropriate. Yin and yang, darkness and light. Stay centered in your higher self. So I don't think that needs much of an explanation. They're finding that balance between themselves, their needs, and other people and other people's needs. And learning to handle and manage their emotions a lot better than they have been. Wow. Okay. So look at that's appropriate. We're getting some more messages from their higher self and your higher self as well, to further heal this relationship and this connection. So let me just do another shuffle here, and then we'll pull more cards from the tarot. But I love that this Fool card came out, because it's really speaking to the fact that they really had to strip themselves down and go back to the core essence of who they are and like how they want to show up in the world. They're starting a journey to reconnect with their higher self, their true self again, because they were connected with that essence of who they are in a previous life, maybe even in their childhood, but whatever traumas and wounds occurred created this distortion of who they truly are in this lifetime. And now it's about healing that and coming back to themselves. Swords, anxiety, yeah, fear, a lot of fear here. So they're seeing a lot of their energies, what I'm getting, a lot of their energies were rooted in this fear of whatever, fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of insecurity and instability, right? I'm sensing that they really wanted a lot of control. So that's another distortion of the divine masculine, is this need to control everything and not just allow things to flow, okay? Next, we have the Lovers. Wow, what I'm really getting from this card is there is this new understanding that they have now about their sexuality and attraction. That was why I was not expecting that. So it could be you or it could be them, where they're really exploring their sexuality. And for some people, again, either you or this other person, it's really understanding that, hey, I'm attracted to um, people of the same sex as myself. And maybe that's where some of the anger is coming. Maybe, you or them, they're identifying as gay, lesbian, or bisexual. Or maybe, they're actually identifying as asexual, that they don't really have a desire for sexual connection or physical connection with other people. Um, Wow. And so there's a lot of pain and hurt here that they kind of projected outward because, again, they're not being true to themselves. And so, a common theme that sometimes you see, particularly with gay men, not so much with lesbian women, but with gay men, the ones that are the angriest and the most homophobic are really the ones that are struggling with their own sexual identity. So it could be that that's what they could have been going through. Um, or maybe you're exploring this new aspect of yourself as well, to seeing how you connect with others. Next, we have the Four of Coins here. Um, so you see this woman here in this tower, right? It's giving very much Rapunzel vibes. And so what it's speaking to me is this period of isolation, of seeking the truth, seeking who they are, seeking their inner light. Um, and perhaps that's where you're at now. A lot of connecting with yourself again. Maybe you're even remembering this connection now, that you were in this relationship where someone was really abusive, really prone to anger. And there's this desire for allowing something new to come in, something better, and releasing this energy here. So that's one that I'm getting. I mean, this is a general read, so there's something else that I'm getting. There's something about security here, that there's this examination of what does it mean to feel secure and safe, right? Secure and safe financially, secure and safe emotionally, secure and safe within a relationship. Um, Secure and safe just physically in your body, right? Like, do you feel safe in your home? Did you feel safe in your home as a child growing up with your parents, your caregivers? Did you feel safe at school? Do you feel safe at work, right? So there's this idea here that needs to be examined on safety and what it means to feel safe, because a lot of times when people don't feel safe, that's when they act aggressive, right? It's sort of this fight or flight response in action here, where it's some people, instead of when they feel uncomfortable or unsafe, instead of running, they react in anger and aggression. They fight. Next, we have the Page of Wands. So definitely some new beginnings here, especially when it comes to connecting with spirit and who you are and what your essence is. And I'm called to say once again, I've said this a few times on the channel, is again, you attract what you are, not what you want. So if you're feeling insecure in yourself on some level, in some way, then you attract situations and people and experiences that match that level of insecurity, okay? And so if you want something different, you have to do something different, okay? So that message is not only for you, but for them. If you want something different, you have to do something different. Wow. Oh my gosh. A lot of these messages in this reading, as well as the other ones, have just been so, so, so powerful. And if any of this resonated with you, you really got some insight, you enjoyed this reading, please make sure to like, comment, and of course, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future readings. I've linked another reading up here. If you're open to it and you're ready for another reading, you can check that out by clicking that link. Otherwise, my loves, I'm really feeling a lot of opportunities for healing here for you. you. And I wish you all the best in that. Sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Take care, my dears. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. I really am so excited to be doing this reading on how an ex is feeling about you right now. Um, I've had my share of heartbreak and done some work healing that. And as I was thinking about this reading and reflecting on it and feeling into it, I really set that strong intention to allow my viewers an opportunity and a space to sort of heal their hearts as well, because I'm sure many of us have been through heartbreak with an ex, and those energies, were just calling to me to have healing and release. And it really inspired this reading today that I'm so excited to do for you. The messages that have been coming through so far have been so wonderful. And for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing in this healing space that we have with this video. Please let me know in the comments down below where you're tuning in from. I would really love to hear from you. So let's see what messages and what feelings that your ex is sharing with you right now on this energetic level, this astral psychic dimension. So it says, I wish I could take it back. Oh, wow. Interesting already. I love you. Oh. Oh my, oh my. I feel so connected to you. Wow. Wow. I'm afraid at how you'll react. Tell me what you want or need. Oh, wow. Wowzers. Oh my gosh. So this ex definitely is not over you. In some of the other readings, like I definitely felt, paths kind of have diverged. People are moving in different directions. There's some need for reconciliation, kind of making up for things in the past. But this ex, like, they really haven't let go of you. And they want to be with you is what I'm getting. I mean, I love you. I feel so connected to you. Tell me what you want or need. And with this card, there's a lot of different ways you could take this phrase, but what I'm sensing from spirit is that they want to give you what you want or need, and because they want to be in relationship with you. And so it's like, be with me, I'll do this for you. Be with me, I'll give you what you need. That's kind of what I'm sensing here. And what I'm seeing is that they did something maybe to upset you. I'm getting some energies of lies, of betrayal, even a little bit of infidelity. And what's interesting, what's coming through for me is when it comes to this infidelity, this cheating, they really didn't love or care for that person that they cheated on you with. Now, again, this doesn't apply to everybody, okay? So just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But what I'm getting coming through strongly is this person, when they cheated on you, it's because they felt like something was missing. They felt a bit empty. They were at this point in their life where maybe they were feeling depressed or apathetic, like they felt like a zombie. And part of this cheating was like giving them this thrill. And they may not have consciously known this, okay? It might have been something within their subconscious, creating this circumstance for them to feel alive again, okay? To feel that excitement and that thrill, kind of getting their kicks, right? Because maybe things just got a little bit too monotonous for them. Maybe they were feeling a little bit too comfortable and they were craving something to kind of shake things up, okay? And so that's the problem that people often encounter with stability. Things become so predictable, okay? And one of the 7 human needs beyond just, the basic food, shelter, clothing, whatever, is this need for variety, okay? And so when things get really stagnant and really predictable, that need isn't being fulfilled anymore. And so sometimes people will create the experiences that are going to fulfill that need. Okay, this thrill. Have you heard of like those midlife crises, right? Where people like blow a lot of money on, cosmetic surgery, on a brand new car, some, the stereotypical story where like the man or the woman goes for the younger man, the younger woman, right? And sometimes that's why people choose to separate. It's because they don't feel space can be held for them as they go through this crisis point in their life. Maybe some of them even think like, hey, because I'm going through this crisis, it means like we can't be together anymore, right? It's like they kind of misplace the blame, if you will, like, oh, I'm having this crisis because of our relationship. And so I need to end this relationship and then things will get better. And oftentimes it's more an internal experience, and the need is to go deep within first and figure it out before blaming it on something outside. All right. And yeah, they just didn't know how you would react to their own personal drama, their own personal crises, how they were feeling inside. Sometimes for men, I would say more so than women, it's really hard to express how you're feeling, especially if you don't understand why you're feeling it, right? It's this situation, for example, where it's like, hey, I have a wonderful spouse, I have a beautiful family, I have a great home, I have a great job, I have a good life overall. So why is it that I feel so down? Why is it that I feel so disconnected and detached? Why don't I feel good? Because everything around me is, are good things. So why don't I feel good? Okay, so they just didn't know how to communicate that, and they weren't sure how you'd react if you shared this really deep concern that they had. If they shared that with you, they weren't sure how you would take it. So let's pull some cards here to get some more information from them. So I'm sensing they definitely have a lot of remorse, they have a lot of regret, they do really love you, and they realize now like, hey, our separation was something that I thought I wanted at the time, but it's like I really don't want that. Okay. Wow. So family. So what I'm sensing for a lot of you is this someone that you were married to or had sort of this long-term domestic partnership with, and there was this separation or this divorce, and they're really feeling the energy of family right now, like wanting a family, like a unified, connected family, not this broken family energy. And it could be, so for those of you that maybe you weren't married to this person, they're reflecting back on their family dynamics. So it could be the case that they came from a broken household, right? Where a parent was missing. Maybe they grew in a single parent home, or their parents got a divorce and how it impacted them, right? And so now they're really reflecting on this idea and this notion of what family means to them and how they want family to look like for them, what kind of family they want to have. And they want family, they want that sort of this unit, this personal unit, right? Because you have like family, friends, coworkers, acquaintances, community, city, country, right? You have these different layers of connection between people. And so they're really looking at this family unit and reflecting on that. Runner, escape from emotion, confusion, on the run. Boy, there you go. They didn't know how to communicate what they were going through and how to process it. And so they ran. They're like, hey, I got to get out of this relationship. I got to get out of this connection. I got to go get out of this job. Maybe some of them even quit their job. They left their job. Maybe they took this huge sabbatical. Like they just didn't know how else to deal with it. Separation, there you go, no contact, 5D, dreams, nightmares, focus on your own happiness. So what they were really trying to do is focus on their own happiness, right? And they felt that the best way to do it was to separate themselves from everything else. Maybe some of them went so drastic as to like start fresh on everything. New job, new relationship, new home, new everything, right? And they kind of went to the extreme there. And that's just kind of how they felt that they needed at the time. And now they're realizing that perhaps that decision was a bit too much, that maybe they could have calmed it down a little bit, right? Like maybe they could have gotten a new job only, or rather than getting a new house and being in a new relationship or separate, like maybe they're thinking they could have handled this a lot better. Next, we have solitude, retreat, introspection, silence, go deep within yourself. So definitely that's what they have been doing. What they continue to do is start to figure themselves out. Yeah, figure themselves out rather than just taking all this action, which can be misguided, right? They're just trying to take all these random actions to see which one's going to make them feel better, when really it was about going within, okay? It's really maybe about inaction for the time being, like not taking any action, just going within, reflecting, meditating, doing that inner work. And then we have here ego, pride, jealousy, self-preservation, walls, let your guard down. And so for sure in the past, they were serving their ego quite a bit. And this ego construct that we form is often based on what other people think and what other people expect of us, okay? Because your true self is so much more than that. And with ego, that's shaped by societal, cultural, familial expectations, all right? And so the ego kind of drove the events that happened here. This need for self-preservation, putting up walls, creating distance between people, okay? Which causes us to take very rash actions, and actions that aren't very well thought out, all right? So that they're kind of working through this notion right here. Wow, very, very interesting. But there's still this undercurrent of they want to connect with you again. They're realizing that they acted a bit too hastily, and there are some choices that they made that they feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, for sure. And now they want to make amends. That's what I'm getting here, especially with tell me what you want or need. They want to make amends. They know they've hurt you, that they've wronged you, and they want to make amends. So let's see what else we got coming through here with the tarot from them to you. But also there's, in this section of the reading, there's going to be some messages from your higher self as well, most likely. So let's kind of take a look at that, okay? So we'll pull your higher self into this now that we've had a chance to look at their energies, where they're coming from, with where they're at right now. So we had the Three of Wands come out. So definitely they're looking at where they want to go from here. Okay, now that they have this better understanding about themselves, now that they've started to take time to reflect and have some introspection, they're coming out of it trying to see like, hey, what is it that I do want in my life? And they want you in their life. For sure. I'm not sure. It's going to be different for everybody as to what capacity, right? Do they want to live with you again? Do they want to date you again? Do they want to just be friends with you? Like what it is, they're in the process now of figuring that out. Eight of Cups. This I'm getting from you, actually. You more than them. But there's this desire really to just leave the past behind, move forward in confidence, feeling healed, feeling good about yourself. Like this separation, this divorce definitely hurt you. And of course, that makes sense because you were together for so long, you formed really deep bonds, and to have that taken away and not have any say or any control over it is devastating, right? But now you're at that position where it's like, hey, the past is the past. People made their choices. Now we just need to be at peace with the choices and move forward, move on. That's some of the energy that I'm getting here. And perhaps there's a part of you that is open to starting fresh with this person. But I get the sense that that's maybe the minority of you. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest, honor your feelings, right? Next, we have the Page of Swords. So new ideas, new ways of thinking, new ways of looking at the world, looking at the situations that happened. I'm feeling that more for them, that they're seeing things in a different way. They're seeing things in a different light. There's a bit of wonderment coming into their life right now with like the way this page is looking at this butterfly, where it's like, wow, that used to be a caterpillar. Like it used to be something else. And now it's something completely different and beautiful and wondrous. And so they're really seeing that now as they go through all these chapters and phases of their life. They're like, wow, I'm not the same person I was. Things are so different now. Like never in a million years would I have thought this is where I would have been at this time in my life. Like I had a different idea or notion of my future, and here I am in my future, right? And it looks so different. We have Wheel of Fate. There's this element of destiny here. There's this fate and this destiny with the connection you have with this person. So I'm sensing a lot of to be continued, to be determined. I feel like things are going to be very surprising. With the Wheel of Fate, there's a lot of surprises I'm getting here. Like you're going to be really surprised at who they are now, and if you choose to reconnect with them, it'll really surprise you about what they share with you at this point, like how their thoughts and their feelings. Like it's almost like they're a different person, and they feel that way themselves. They're like, oh my gosh, like this, even though this isn't what I thought was gonna happen, this was meant to be. This was how things were planned out. That's kind of what's going through their head right now. And the Devil, wow. So facing a lot of inner demons, more so for them. And for you, what I'm sensing for you is this desire and this mindset now to never be put in this position again of feeling trapped, feeling less than, feeling not worthy, not wanting to be a victim again. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting from you. You're like, no, I'm not going to be chained up again. I'm not going to be trapped. I'm not going to be at a disadvantage again. Like I'm over that. I've experienced that before, and I'm going to do everything I can not to be in that position again. And so perhaps if this person reaches out to you, there's going to be this bit of mistrust, right? Like, I don't trust your motives. I don't trust your actions. Are you really who you say you are, this changed person? Or are you just the same old again? And you're going to have your guards up. You're going to be very weary of this reconnection should they choose to do that for you. And for them, on their part, I'm sensing, yeah, they really face their inner demons and they're working through it. And they're seeing actions that they have taken that maybe a better way to put it, they see how they could have handled things better, okay, and how they panicked and how they were afraid, and how those were the driving forces behind the actions they took, rather than this higher vibration of like, what is for the highest and greatest good of myself and the other people? Like, what can I do? Interesting. Wow. So if this reading resonated with you, if you got something out of it, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future readings. If you want to have another reading here, I put a link there so you can click on that in the top right corner. It'll take you to another reading. And otherwise, my loves, this was so, so beautiful, so powerful. I hope this really helped on your healing journey and getting a better understanding of your situation and expanding the love energy in your life, the compassion in your life. So I'm sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Thank you again for sharing space with me today. Until next time, bye.